Disha Ahluwalia and welcome to ThePrint. Recently, the World Heritage Committee has shown concerns regarding the state of preservation of the city of Jaipur. Jaipur, which is also known as the Pink City, was inscribed as a World Heritage City in 2019 and has been under UNESCO's radar since its inscription. But now these concerns have reached to a point where it could strip this very precious tag. Of course, the tag will not be removed immediately. It would be put under monitoring and also under the danger list. But the question here is not whether Jaipur will be able to retain the tag. The question is whether or not India can manage its heritage. Jaipur was built in 18th century by Savai Jai Singh II. It is known for its architecture and also its heritage. Architecturally speaking, Jaipur has a unique layout. It has a grid layout where each street intersects each other, and in the center, the square is what is known as a chopar is very important. Apart from that, Jaipur is known for the bazaars. The bazaars were intentionally built by Savai Jai Singh to make Jaipur not just a center for art and culture but also an economic commercial hub. 36 industries were set up in these bazaars. The facade of the bazaar was also quite unique. Jai Singh is said to have used European as well as Vastu Shastra to accommodate the architectural planning of the city of Jaipur. Apart from this, the havelis play a key role into the heritage, integrity, and value of Jaipur. The havelis are beautifully painted, and the architectural features are also unique of the medieval time. Now, all of these things together, also including the city gates, also including the fortification wall and bastions, together form outstanding universal value, OUV. So when you submit a dossier to UNESCO, they look at the particular monuments, or in this case, cities' outstanding universal value, OUV. And in Jaipur's case, all these features and more are part of its very outstanding universal value. In November 2024, the World Heritage Committee and an advisory board has asked the state party to look into the matter more seriously and to submit a detailed report as to how it's going to sort of protect its heritage and take care of its heritage by December 2026. They've asked this because there have been a news of illegal constructions, encroachments, and mindless, unnotified, undocumented demolitions that are happening. In fact, in 1992, there were about 1,200 havelis. Today, there are little shy of 800 havelis. And as we speak, these havelis many are being sort of razed to ground by people because they're unable to manage these havelis. It is an economic drain when you have to conserve an old structure and without any economic incentives whatsoever. Moreover, what is also striking is that none of the locals are sort of aware of the importance of the World Heritage tag. But this is not new in case of Jaipur. In 1994, Nand Kishore Parekh has written a book in which he talks about the depleting importance of heritage in Jaipur. First, he begins by talking about how Jaipur has lost its pink characteristic features, and also because of government's neglect, it's losing its heritage. Buildings have been demolished, there's a lot of encroachment that is happening. And it's interesting that decades later, the same concern is shown by the UNESCO's World Heritage Committee. They are concerned just like Parekh was decades ago. So who is the culprit? Why is Jaipur unable to manage its heritage? The culprit is, of course, the authorities, the state parties who have submitted the dossier, and then they are responsible of managing the heritage property and heritage value of the city of Jaipur. The state party being Government of Rajasthan and the Municipal Corporation of Jaipur. It has a heritage cell, a separate heritage cell, but the issue is not that it's the regulation or management plan is not present on paper. There is a management plan, but there is lack of enforcement. And that was the same concern which UNESCO has been flagging for years now. There are no technical people in the heritage cell, there are no conservators, no heritage managers. What is more important right now is sort of to create the list of monuments and to monitor these monuments and whether or not these structures, the havelis, etc., are being demolished. What is also very very important, that you have to bring all the stakeholders, not just the state party, but the people who are living in these havelis, people who have these shops and these bazaars, to come together and to educate them. It is a responsibility of the state party to do so, and it has failed miserably to do that. Same is the case with Ahmedabad, which is the first World Heritage City of India, inscribed in 2017. In that case, also, the UNESCO has shown concern, very similar concern, that there is a management plan, and despite that, there is no action on ground. There is no reinforcement at all. There is reluctance to sort of do work on ground. And also because there are not many people in the heritage cell there at Ahmedabad also. One could argue that you can take help of private parties to help you in accomplishing this. In case of Jaipur, there is Drona, which is part of this very initiative. They have helped in drafting the site management plan of the city. But again, despite intact and Drona, nothing much is been happening. And as we speak, heritage buildings are being demolished, and they are being destroyed, or the facades have been destroyed. So the real question also right now is whether whose heritage it is. Why do we put these tags on a pedestal but do nothing once we get them? If imagine if this is the case of notified World Heritage cities and monuments, what will be the case of unnotified monuments which are just lying there unprotected? This is a sad story of India's heritage, and this is just one part of it, just one chapter of this entire story. It seems that it's now up to you and me and many others like minded people to do the work. Jaipur Houses is one handle which is doing great work in documenting these very demolitions and actions that have been happening in Jaipur. You have various other experts, technical experts, like Chandni Chaudhary, who are making people of Jaipur aware of its heritage and history by conducting regular walks and also talking about the heritage on public forum. Therefore, it is very, very ironic that the people who celebrate the Heritage and World Heritage Day, the government organizations who organize various events on World Heritage Day, have turned their back on heritage. When it's important day, they will celebrate it. When it's not important, it seems there'll be no celebration. Forget about protection. Protection is far, far away from here. I also want to point out that we keep stressing on ASI, we keep blaming Archaeological Survey of India, but what it looks like, there are many, many stakeholders in this. ASI is just one body. We have to hold the state parties, the state governments, and the Department of Archaeology accountable, because this is not just a case of Rajasthan, it's happening everywhere. If you want to read more detail on the story, please read my column. The link will be in the description box below. And if you like this story, please give it. Please click on the like button. And if you like similar stories, subscribe to The Print and Print on various social media platforms. Thank you so much for listening.